right, all you listeners of the madness and anyone lucky enough to catch this show on their AM/FM dials, welcome to yet another unpredictable, unplanned, unseasoned, and now under the fourth day of the 21st year of the 21st century edition of Under the Radar. I am your host for the East Coast, DJ Smokey, and seeing the fact that we brought madness to 2021 in under 4 days, we might as well waste no time and explain to you guys what's gonna happen in this special New Year of Madness edition of Under the Radar. Because we kick things off by figuring out who's gonna get what award heading toward the Indie Awards for another edition of And the Award Goes to... Next up on the plate, we check out some newspaper clippings from last year to bring them to this year for another edition of yesterday's news, even though it's technically last year's news. But you guys get it. Also, besides that, we go ahead and check out some screenshots and whatnots from the Twitterverse from this past weekend for another edition of the Four Squared Delight. And speaking of delights, folks, we check out some more games from a planet far away from here for another edition of the Planet of the Games. And according to the maestro, one of them may be a spaghetti western, just as a heads up. Then finally, last but not least, and hopefully before the infomercials drain out your television sets, we wrap up this show with yet another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week. And I guess with that said, I might as well tell the maestro to kick up the beats, crank out the tunes, and for any of you listening at home, back those recliners, cause it's time for us to get ready to fly low as we go under the radar. Let's get this show of madness started, folks.